Yeah, so like with the TalkDesk one, it's what we call a micro learning. So it has the tag in the actual authoring tool, but the difference is it doesn't have those lessons. Like if we look at Papa John's, it has all these like segmented lessons where it's like you'll learn about this, you'll learn about this. But in a micro learning, you're only learning about one thing. So if we jump into the top of the TalkDesk one, you just kind of go right into it. So this is like the template that we use. And at the top is the buy-in. So it's like, this is what TalkDesk is. This is why you need to use it. And then below that, we have our course objectives, and they should be action oriented. And then we get into the meat of the course. And what we do is we take the material that we have. So you have, I think, a couple of videos I saw in there, and we pull out from the perspective of a help desk person or whatever the audience for the course that you're building is, what do they need to remember? And I like to put things into categories. So there's front brain knowledge and there's back brain knowledge, right? And front brain knowledge is like things that they absolutely need to remember, process details that are critically important. Like in this case, we have how to log in because the problem we were targeting in this course is that they have to re-log in after their phone call disconnects and they weren't. And so we have right in front of their face in kind of crazy detail, repeated several times, this is how you log in so that they remember it. And then we have back brain knowledge, and that's going to be most of the process steps, things that you maybe are walked through in the training material that we receive, and you're like, well, if I'm a help desk agent, I'm never going to remember all of this going through the course. And usually what we do with that is we put it in a knowledge article and we call it out. So if we scroll a little bit, I think there's some down here. Yeah. So we call it out to let them know, like, hey, all of this stuff, we don't expect you to keep it in your brain. That would be crazy. It isn't a knowledge article. So if you need it, just know that there's a reference material out there that you can go and find. So it's more about them understanding their resources in terms of like long processes than it is about actually them having to memorize every single step of it. So like we have them walk through this process, but there's also a knowledge article for this process so that if they forget, if they're like, oh gosh, what did I do wrong? It's not working. So I've run into an issue. Do I need to relog in right now? There's a material out there, even though they've walked through the process several times. So it's like we try to get it to be sticky in their brain a little bit, but we also expect like, reasonable knowledge decay after the course. And then our courses usually follow the same format. So we usually have a show me, which is like a video. This one, I don't think you're gonna have sound, but it has an AI voiceover and it tells them like, let's log in. Here's the process. Click this. And it's like very procedural, like this is the button you press next, and then this button, and then this button. And it walks them through with actual screen footage on how to do the thing that we want to train them on. And then the other key piece of our courses is a try me, and that's going to be a walkthrough style. I'm sure you've seen them. We build these in Storyline where they actually have to go in and like press the buttons on the screen so that they have that muscle memory of like, oh, this is where I need to click if I need to log into TalkDesk, things like that. And it also gives them guidance. Like if I say it told me I was right, but if I click in the wrong spot, there's an error message that's like, no, you have to click over here. Things like that. And you can include, there's what's in it for you in this one, which is like a buy-in. And there's also the knowledge articles, anything that you think is relevant as a call out. You can include with block design, things like that. And then I can show you, I think there are resources in our training SharePoint. So if you look at the documents folder, I think they're under assets. I might be, I think they are. There is storyline template and style guide, and these are not going to be very useful to you because these story files are for Articulate only. I think that's the only program that can read them. But this style guide will give you a little bit of information on how to build the course. And I'm also happy to, maybe if I take screenshots for you so you can see you can see the course in Power Academy. So yeah, we're using that one as like a guide. It's just kind of filling in the blanks with information that you think is appropriate. And then any kind of style stuff is all outlined here. I think there's also, I really don't think these are going to be useful to you because I think these are going to be about building things in Articulate, which I'm happy to help with if that's what Amy wants you to do, but we'll have to get you a Rise license or have you borrow somebody's in order to actually make the content. You can probably do the Show Me, but I think that's like a bridge that you cross when you come to it, because what I would start with is watching the videos and reviewing the content and trying to outline what exactly you want in the course. I always think that's very helpful. So, for example, what would be a good example? I don't know if I outlined the Talkdesk course, but we did outline the PJs course, so maybe we'll look at that one. This is just the Papa John stuff, which I'm just going to show you as an example of like what an outline might look like. So we went through, and this isn't it. This is it. We created exactly what will appear in the Rise course in a Words document. So you can see kind of the same template here. Obviously, Papa John's isn't a microlearning, but we have like that top paragraph that we saw in the Talkdesk integration. I'm trying to pull it to the side so I can show you both. It's not working for me. So like paragraph, course objectives. And we just kind of outlined exactly what we thought was important, what the learner needed to take away. We added knowledge checks, like this is a knowledge check where appropriate, and you can use Copilot to help you draft stuff as well. Things like that. And then even if you don't know, like I designated this as an accordion because I know the block names in Rise, but even if you know, like, this is the information I want to add, this is like the exact scripting that I want to have in the course, and you have that prep work done, then you can take it into Rise and try to fiddle around with it and build it and make it look the way that you think that will land best for the learners. Yeah, if you want to meet, I'm happy to meet. I know you're gonna hit snags, like you're gonna get to the Show Me and you're gonna be like, I don't know how to do that because that's Incluso, and then the Try Me, obviously you don't even have the license for. So, but I think an outline would be a good place to start.